you guys remember the company that refused to sell us a product because they did not want us to test it? Well, a follower of ours in Texas, Rusty, actually ordered this without us knowing and mailed it to us, and it just showed up today. So let's do some testing on it. This is bare aluminum, not coated, not hardened, just bare machined aluminum. Just look how close it is to an exact match of the notch rigging friction ring that you can buy for $33 instead of $115. We're going to take our BougeRV portable solar panel. That's going to power up our scale. You see she's zeroed out. We're going to add the pulley. For 1 pound, 8 ounces. So I can't even get my hook through there. So now there's added steps. You got to remove this Velcro piece, remove that little block there, then put it on, and then put the block back on. And then when you're done, you got to remove the block to take your hook off and then put it back on for storage. Technical info. This part has a working load limit in excess of 25,000 pounds, while it's slipping and melting the rope at 6,000 pounds. All right, we took the winch pressure off so we can see it. And oh boy, that sucker is hot. Yeah, I say she's no good. So we had a winch output of 3,838, and then we had a drag weight of 2,966. Yes, it's a lighter load than we did before because it's a different vehicle. So this had a 22.7% frictional loss with a mechanical advantage of 1.72, making it the bottom. It did worse than Yankum. Oh wait, this stuff's manufactured by Yankum ropes. That kind of explains it. They give you the brake strength, but no safe working limits, and then they tell you to don't go over the working limits. What is going on here? All right, so the first test of line retention is we're going to set it up here. We're going to make sure his anti-tip block is super tight as we can get it. And we're going to put the winch in free spool and take one side of the line, pull it back 5 or 6 feet, and just lay it on the ground. Nothing fancy. This is going to resemble like a setup or a momentary slack in the system while you're pulling somebody out and they move and your winch becomes slack. How well will it hold on to the line? And we're going to repeat the test 10 times. first issue that we needed to overcome was what I call ring tip. The low friction ring will rotate with gravity and spit out the line if the tension in the system changes. In a perfect world and parking lots, this might not happen, but in the real world of winch recovery is rarely maintained consistent tension. It is important to have a way to keep the line locked into the ring as tension changes. I invented what I call the anti-tip block to solve this issue. To solve this issue. To solve this issue. We continued to reset it. We made sure the tip block was nice and tight against the ring. We pulled a few feet of slack out of the winch. We just winched in without manipulating in any way, and it failed every single time, over and over and over. It just kept failing. So I am not sure how he said he solved this issue, because it's clearly not solved. For a few years now, I have been testing and refining this concept. Now the rope retention test part 2. We are going to drive forward 6 feet with the winch and free spool, and then we're going to back up 6 feet without touching the winch line. We're only going to winch in and see if it can hold the winch line in the ring. The purpose of this test is because every time you pull somebody out, they're on the throttle, they get a little bit of traction, they back up, producing slack in the winch line. This is going to tell us if we need to go reset up the ring on every portion of slack, or is it going to hold it during slack. He claims the anti-slip device that he mounted on top of the ring fixes this issue, and it should not fall off. So Brennan's garage ring failed in every aspect of the product. It came in last place at a 22.7% frictional loss, while Yankum ropes, which is a worse design in my opinion and damaged your winch line, but it had a better performance. So an anodized rubber ring is more slippery than a non-anodized one. It also failed in the weight test. It came in second to last place. So this is a very heavy ring. The only ring that it was lighter than was Yankum's. Yankum's is the heaviest ring. So the King Pro was lighter. The RENO was lighter. The Factor55 is lighter. Even the notch rigging ring is lighter. So it is not lighter than other rings. It performs worse than every ring we've tested. It damages your winch line. It doesn't hold your rope. It's a fail in every aspect of the product. You know, after years and years and years of testing, he claims that he fixed the line falling off issue during moments of slack. This was a complete fail. Out of 19 pulls, it held the rope on 1 time. That's it. 19 fails, 1 acceptable. It failed every single time during the forward and backwards test, and it only held the rope on the very first pull when we set it up, which didn't really have any slack in it. We just set it up so it had like no slack. That was the only time it held the rope. While this $30 ring, this one is a RENO, we're going to release a video on this one as well. It passed 18 out of 20 pulls. So all 10 of the first setup that Brannon failed 9 out of 10. So this passed 10 out of 10. And then the backwards, forward, and backwards section, this lost the rope twice. So 8 out of 10 pass on that. So this $30 ring is way better than Brannon's ring. I don't know how he can say best in the industry, and he spent years refining it, and he's tested it. To me, it doesn't seem like he tests anything. It is a definite do not buy product. It is not worth it. I wouldn't buy this ring and send it to Joe Biden as a gag gift. This thing is garbage.